Hi, I'm Gavin Glicksman. You're watching Sun Boxing. Joining me today is Darren Barker. Darren, it's been a long time since we've seen you in action. Finally ready. December the 8th. How are you feeling?
Yeah, really, really well. I know it's a bit of a cliche and everyone says it, but feeling the best I have in a long, long time. I mean, injuries are all behind me, and just really looking forward to pushing on now and sort of putting on a good performance on the 8th and getting back on that world stage.
Last time we spoke, understandably, you were well and truly in the dumps. Fight, you'd had to pull out because of the injury. How frustrating is that?
If I sort of compare myself to a footballer, we don't get paid when we don't fight, and it was difficult in that sense. I had such a tough training camp. We went to Spain, training abroad, away from the family. I've got a young daughter, and it was really difficult, and not to get any end product at the end of it. It was so frustrating and mentally shattering, probably more so than physically. I mean, I know I had the injury, but mentally I suffered bad, and it's nice to put that behind me now. And I think when you have bad experiences like I did, you come out a better person and a stronger person for it. And yeah, just looking forward to getting in there now and putting all that behind me.
At that point when you had to pull out, did you contemplate retirement?
Yeah. Definitely, and I remember even sitting down, and I think I'd made the conscious decision to retire. I just thought I can't deal with this heartache anymore of putting yourself through them sacrifices and not getting anything from it, like I say. But the injuries themselves were never career threatening. It was just my mental state, to be honest with you, from what the injuries had caused. And like I say, my body's absolutely fine now. The hips I've had surgery on, they're back to normal, brand new, and the arm that I injured just before the last fight, it's fine. So the training itself, like I say, it has been one of the best training camps. It's all gone smoothly.
We're at the Chelsea Club at Stamford Bridge today. I know you come here to go swimming a lot. Is that something you've sort of changed in your training, or is that what you've always done?
Definitely. I've introduced a lot of swimming into my training now, and obviously the club, Chelsea Club down here, have been fantastic and let me use their facilities. And to be honest, I find swimming a lot harder than I have my running. I'm not exactly a fish. I'm like a big great white down there, terrorising all the other swimmers. But it's definitely, I feel a lot fitter for it, and I've been doing my sprints in there, and it's freshened the training up a little bit, just doing something a little bit different. And it's good to introduce a new sort of method into my training.
You've got Kerry Hope at London Olympia on December the 8th. Is that a really tough fight to come back to? Yeah,
I think so. He's a proud fighter, proud Welshman, former European champion, which makes it that little bit more intriguing. 2 former champions, and it's a British sort of domestic dust-up that makes it a little bit more interesting, not just to the boxing public, to the general public as well. Sort of captures their imagination, gets them interested, and it's definitely got me interested. I know Kerry's up for the task, and I'm looking forward to it. I would never be sort of naive to look past Kerry, because I know how much he fancies the job, but I think in boxing it's all about leagues and levels, and I think I'm a league and a level above Kerry Hope, and I look forward to proving that on the 8th.
I think he probably surprised everyone by winning the European title against Grzegorz Prochka. The rematch obviously didn't go quite as well. Were you surprised by that?
The first fight I was very surprised. I thought Prochka would beat him quite handily, but it just shows you that, and it's a lesson to me not to take anyone lightly. And I think there was an element of that with Prochka. I think he did take him slightly lightly, and he got his cut in the first fight, and I think that threw his game plan right out the window. But he'd done the job in the second fight, and Kerry was unlucky. But I've said in a number of interviews that he had his fairy tale story, beating Prochka the first fight, and it ended on the second fight. And as far as I'm concerned, there won't be a sequel. There won't be a Cinderella 2. There won't be another fairy tale as far as me versus Kerry Hope's concerned.
As you said, you don't want to look beyond fighting Kerry, but what is next for you?
Well, like I say, to put on a good performance, get off any ring rust that there may be, which I don't think there would be a great deal, and then get back on the world stage. I mean, there's a few world champions out there that need challenges, and I'm up for the task. I think if there was any other world champion last October, I think I'd be standing here talking to you as world champion now. So yeah, just to get back on the world stage.
Would you fancy a second crack at Sergio Martinez?
I'd love to. I mean, the experience gained from fighting him was second to none, and it was a good benchmark for me to find out how good I am, really. And you know, no one wanted to go near Martinez before I fought him, and it wasn't till I got in there and sort of put in a good performance and showed he's human, everyone wanted to, you know, line up and fight him. The experience learned, and mentally I'm a stronger fighter for it, so I think I'd put in an even better performance this time, and think I could be capable of beating him.
Looking back now, do you ever think if I'd done this, if I'd done that, I would have beaten him?
Yeah, it's hard to say. He's such a great champion, and I take my hat off. You know, he beat me fair and square, and had I seen out the 12 rounds, I think, you know, he would have won on points anyway. What I found in that fight was finding the fine line between showing him respect but not showing him too much. And obviously in the second half of the fight, I leant towards showing him a bit too much respect, and he obviously did the reverse and piled the pressure on in the second half of the fight and started pulling away. And but like I say, all that experience and all that knowledge is all in the bank now, and I'm a better fighter for it.
I saw you tweeting the other night about a certain Michael Buffer. Doesn't appear to be your favourite person.
Nah, I mean, when I look back at that, I was gutted. You know, it was one moment. You watch all these big fights when you're a kid. Michael Buffer introducing everyone, and all he had to do was get my name right. That's all he had to do, and he got it wrong, and I was gutted. But I remember looking at Eddie going, you know, sighing in the ring. But you know, we all make mistakes.
Did you get to speak to him afterwards?
Nah, not an apology, nothing.
I suppose you did only leave one letter out in the end.
One letter, yeah. And if anything, technically, I'm still undefeated because Darren Barker lost that night.
Just finally, what's your prediction against Kerry Hope?
I'm looking to put on a really good performance. Kerry seems to think the pressure's on me. I sort of buzz off of that pressure. I'm the favourite for a reason because of the performances I've put in the career I've had. So I'm really looking forward to putting on a good display and sort of carrying on where I left off last time, you know, putting on a good performance and letting the people know that Darren Barker's back.
Brilliant. Dal, thanks for your time, mate.
Cheers, Gav. Thanks, mate. Cheers.